Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm going to be covering a bit of a different video. I'm going to be showing you a Claude Code build that I made just recently the other day. And basically what it does is it enriches a live Google Sheet for you. So yeah, if you have, a raw sheet of data, a bunch of leads that you want to get enriched or verified, make sure they're actually, matching your ICP and they're ready for your cold email campaign. This is going to, verify them and also enrich them. So get some variables that will obviously make your email look handwritten and stand out. So this is a really powerful automation, and I think it's a perfect way you can kind of intertwine Claude Code into AI cold email. So yeah, without further ado, I'll jump in. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to have obviously a sheet of leads. So this is, going to have your emails, your phone numbers, stuff like that. But as you can see here, I've got a couple rows with some enrichment. So obviously you want to clean your business name. So if you're not doing this already, you need to be doing it. So basically some of your business names are going to be, in bad, formatting. They might have like capitals, they might have like full cap words. They might have, LTD at the end of it, or, anything like that. So you want to make sure AI is cleaning your business names and they're looking clean for a cold email, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the first thing I do with AI. And then also, depending on the niche, I get 3 variables that I'm going to be using in cold email. So firstly, I want to get the location of the business. So if it's, a brick and mortar business, obviously they're going to have, an office or, a place of work. So basically I'm getting AI to find the location. So usually you can get this from raw data, but if you get AI, you can kind of get a more refined version. So, I'm getting like the Greater Perth area and Rockingham region. So that's going to be a lot more detailed than just like, Perth or just Australia. So, or, Western Australia. So yeah, that's something you want to do. And then the second variable is obviously this campaign is for one of my marketing agency clients, and he does web design. So he requested me to find the age of all of the websites of my leads. So basically, I'm getting AI to work out when the website was last updated. So Claude Code does that really well. So yeah, you can see 2018 here. So obviously that's going to be, high intent because you've got an aging website architecture, sorry. And then, yeah, you can see I've got, 2022, 2024. You can see it says template incomplete. So these are all going to be high intent leads. So the not verifieds here, these are leads where the website's A, already really good, or B, they're not actually matching the ICP. So you can see down here, these are physiotherapy leads. So if they're not actually physiotherapy, maybe they're, NDIS, or, maybe they're like some sort of clinic like that, then they're just not verified. So the one thing you want to be doing with cold email is you don't want to be reaching out to people who aren't actually fitting your ICP, or they're not actually in need of your service. So all of the leads that are left are going to be physiotherapy, independent clinics that aren't franchises, and they're also poor websites. So that's going to be basically ensuring that my cold emails are going to get way more traction. So that's kind of explaining how important this is. But yeah, I think you guys get the idea. The third variable I'm also getting is the website bottleneck. So phone first contact architecture. So they've got no integrated booking. So that's obviously, a bit of a problem because it's kind of a barrier between, the client and the business. And then, yeah, self-serve scheduling, call required model is, creating friction. And then phone and form only contact flow with no integrated online booking. So yeah, there's a bit of a pattern here. But yeah, you can see 2020 era WordPress template. So Claude Code gets super detailed with, the bottlenecks. So this is why I kind of transitioned from, using N8N and Gemini to do my enriching, and I'm now using Claude Code because Claude has insane detail. It's looking at, the clients, it's looking at the leads, the website, LinkedIn. I've even got to research the ad funnel if it's an ad offer. Obviously this is website, so it's not needed, but yeah, without further ado, I'm just going to jump in and show you. I've had enough talking by now. So you want to do a couple things to set up. So obviously you want to have Claude Code, and you also want to download Python. If you don't have Python already on your computer, I'm pretty sure you can just go and search up Python. But yeah, you want to make sure you have Python downloaded and Claude Code. So you don't need any Anthropic key. So you don't need to have any more subscriptions than just the Claude subscription. I just have the $30 one, so it's actually really, really cost effective to run this compared to running N8N on the cloud or all these other different things. So yeah, this is actually the most cost effective way I've found to enrich leads. But yeah, what you want to do next is you want to set up your Claude kind of architecture. So the thing about Claude Code obviously is it has access to all your files. So what you want to do before you do anything, before you even open up Claude Code, you want to create a folder where all your Claude Code stuff is going to be. So in my documents, in my OneDrive, I've got a Claude Code folder. So don't worry about any of these files. Don't worry about the Python file. Don't worry about the credentials file yet. You want to create a folder for each of your clients, or let's say you're just going to run this for yourself. You just want to have a folder for your own agency. So inside of that, you're just going to have one file, and that's going to be Claude MD. What this file is, this is super important. So this is basically what you're going to get. This is like your agent's brain. So when I open this up, you're going to see exactly what I mean. So basically, this is kind of explaining everything about my client. So this is what Claude is going to research before it enriches my lead. So this is kind of like the instructions, if I can put into a better term. But yeah, so at the top, this is really important. You need to put your Google Sheet ID. So this is, if you don't know where to find that, just imagine that this is the sheet that I'm going to be running the Claude MD file with. You want to get your sheet ID after that D and then before edit. So that's going to be your Claude. That's going to be your Google Sheet ID. So you're going to put that into your MD file. Where is it? Notes. Here we go. And then the rest of it is going to be just explaining what you do. So this is one of my clients. I target mortgage brokers for him, and basically he does like an ad funnel with them. So he wants me to, enrich mortgage brokers and find out, get some mortgage brokers that fit his ICP that I can do cold outreach for. So this is just explaining exactly what he wants. Before applying any variable enrichment, you must evaluate lead against explicit criteria using available context. So company description, job title, industry, website, LinkedIn data. So I have everything here. So I've got the lead's website, their LinkedIn. If you don't have all of these variables, then you're going to have to find a way to get them, or you might just have a little bit more of a general enrichment. But yeah, the more kind of information you have, the better. I've also got company descriptions here. So this comes with my scrape. So I've got a really good lead scraper, and I get all of these kind of variables. But yeah, that's for a different topic. Anyways, you want to have all those kind of things. And then ICP fit criteria. So geographic focused. If the mortgage broker is not in Australia, they're not verified. So you can see that not verified there. If they're, not in that 10 to 50 staff range preferred, then they're probably going to be disqualified. So massive franchises, yeah. Exclusions. So we don't want any solo operators. So that means they're probably not going to have a budget for this. No corporate franchises, and no brokers that are already running high budget, highly sophisticated ad campaigns. So the best thing about Claude is it can actually look through their Meta and Google ads and see if they're actually running paid ads really to a high extent already. So that's how powerful this is. If a lead does not meet the criteria above, then making them not verified in VAR 1. So you can see I've done that here. This is for a different client, the Google Sheet, but you get the idea. Then, yeah, you want to do lead enrichment blueprint. So we're getting, clean B name, variable 1, which is location. The variable 2 is the main loan focus. So basically, are they, owner occupier? Are they property investors? Are they first home buyers? And then VAR 3 is the marketing / pipeline bottleneck. So ideally it's going to be an ad bottleneck. So maybe they're relying on their organic and paid, organic and referrals. Maybe their website's, not up to scratch. Maybe they're running low intent ads, or they don't know how to run their ads properly, stuff like that. And then, below here is just explaining my client's offer. So the more context, the better. But you want to make sure you have a Claude MD file for all of those clients or just yourself if you're doing this for yourself. And then next, you're going to want to set up your credentials. So obviously, Claude Code is going to need access to your Google Sheets. It's not going to have it off the bat. So to do that, I'll give you a quick rundown. Basically, you're going to want to come to Cloud Console. You're going to create a project. I've just called it Claude Code. And you're going to go to Enabled Services, and then you want to enable Google Sheets API. Then you want to create credentials and then do a service account. So I'm not obviously going to make it because I already have a service account. But yeah, you're going to hit service account and then just run through the steps. And then you're going to be able to get credentials via JSON download. You're going to want to do that instead of getting an API key. I think you can only do it through JSON download. But yeah, it's going to make you download a JSON file. And that JSON file, you're going to want to rename it anything, but I suggest just making it credentials.json. And then drag it into your Claude main master folder like this. And that's all you're going to need for now. So credentials file, and then all of your clients or just your own folder. And then don't worry about this .claude py cache, even the Python. Don't worry about it for now. As long as you've downloaded Python and you've done the rest of those steps, you are good to go. This credentials JSON, you're going to want to go into this file. I'm not going to do it because I don't want you to see my credentials, but go into this file and you're going to see an email. So get that email, copy it, and then all of those sheets you gave access to in your MD files, you want to go up to share, and you want to share that that email as an editor. So you can see this is the email that I got given in the credentials JSON file. You want to share it, so just copy it there and then make it an editor. So that allows Claude to come in and live edit your sheets. So I forgot to say that earlier, that's a really important key. So yeah, my bad about that, but that's everything I believe. Besides that, you just want to get Claude running. So whether you do it through a terminal like this, I'll show you how to do it through here, but I've actually originally set it up through my Claude Code desktop app. So I'll just do that. I'll show you what I actually did to set this up, because now we've done the hard part. Basically, now we're just telling Claude, okay, I've set this folder up. Can you now, create a Python script that's going to go through and do the enrichment? So yeah, what you want to do here is I said, create a folder for my AI cold email agency, then add subfolders for the following clients. So I didn't even make this folder myself. I literally asked Claude to do it. So I've actually made it even easier for myself, but yeah, I just said create a folder with those. It done that. And then create a folder for my email code agency, and then add subfolders for the following clients. Each folder has Claude MD file, text files. So I didn't even create the Claude MD text files, but I obviously came in later and then wrote everything inside of them. And then so it told me what it's created. And then this is what you're going to want to run as well. So pip install gspread, OAuth client, and pandas. So make sure you put this into Claude Code, and that's just going to make sure that you can run Python through this. So that's going to make sure everything's running sweet. And then you're going to I actually had a little error here because I told it to, this is actually me trying to run it for the first time. I said referring to Claude MD file inside Simply Digital, enrich the first 2 leads of the physiotherapy sheet. But I hadn't actually edited the Claude MD file yet, so there was actually no context to the enrichment. So Claude kind of I just didn't know what I was talking about, and then I quickly realized, I actually haven't even wrote anything in the Claude MD yet. And then you can see now I've come in and edited the Claude MD file. Obviously, as I said before, you must make sure you have your Google Sheet ID. And then you also want to refer to the actual sheet in the Google Sheet. So I don't know if that makes sense, but if you have multiple sheets at the bottom like this, you need to refer to which one you want enriched. That's really important. So make sure you do that. And then now you can see it's kind of starting to work. And then you can see here, so I just said at the start, I said enrich the first 2 leads. I want to make sure it works before I'm telling it to enrich 1,000 leads at once. And you can see it works. So lead 1, it worked out location Perth. It even worked out exactly how many people is in that team. So this just shows how powerful Claude is. But then it said website fails It's already modern, it's already responsive, it's got no outdated signs, so not verified. And then the second one, location was in Adelaide, but they weren't independent, so it was already a franchise with 73 practices nationally. So it gives you a really good rundown. That's kind of the way I like it. So, you know, when I was doing this before with Gemini and N8N, I had no idea why leads would be verified, why they weren't, but Claude gives you the whole rundown. So that's kind of why I like this so much. But yeah, now once you've ran that once, you actually will see that it's created a PY, or it's created a Python for you already. So you don't actually create this file, it actually creates it for you. And then once you've created it once, you don't need to do it again. So now all I say is, let me come to my actual Claude Code in the terminal. If I come up here, you can see all I do is say run PY enrich to enrich the first 100 empty mortgage broker leads inside Appify enriched. So Appify enriched is literally just a sheet. Wait for this to load. It's literally just a sheet here. So it's finding the first 100 leads that don't have any variables. You can see all these ones do actually. Maybe I don't know if there's any spare leads still here. Yeah, I think most of them have been enriched by now, but yeah, so it would pull these ones that are empty, and then it would do those ones. So I'm not enriching leads I already have, if that makes sense. So all I'm doing is just telling it to run that Python script, how many leads I want, where the leads are, and then follow the instructions from the Claude MD file inside whatever your agency or company name is, and that's literally it. And then Python will just take about 5 minutes and do exactly that. So yeah, I mean, you might be able to see from here what it looks like. You can see here it kind of gives you a summary of, so leads processed, 29 were verified, 71 failed the ICP test, and 400 cells were written into the sheet. So yeah, it kind of tells you exactly what's happening. Yeah, this one was a bit better, so 46 verified and then 54 not verified. So yeah, you can see the best part about this is it's so direct to your actual ICP. So before, if I wanted to verify leads with Gemini, let's say, I would have to just have a really, really good prompt. But now Claude just has access to an entire MD file that it perfectly explains exactly what my client wants. So I just have complete confidence that each lead is actually going to be fitting my client's desired, ICP. So this just gives me full confidence now that each lead is perfect. That's kind of the main thing I like about this. So yeah, you can see I've done a couple of these. This one went really well. I got 61 verified. This is all just testament to how well I scrape leads. So the better lead scraping you can do, the less not verified leads you're going to get. So you can see I've done heaps of these. It even gives you a little bit of rundown here. I was trying to get some physiotherapy Adelaide leads. Yeah, you can see all of this. But yeah, it's super, super simple. You literally just tell it to run that script. Once you build that Python script once, you're done. You don't have to do it ever again. And then you can literally just watch Claude come into your sheet and just do it all for you. So all you need, is Python, Claude Code, and a Claude Code subscription. So you don't need any Anthropic APIs or anything like that. This is super cheap to run and it's super effective. And you can literally just tell Claude to do it for you. So I don't do anything anymore. Basically, my enrichment is super, super simple. And then I have full confidence all these leads are going to be killer high intent leads for my clients' campaigns. So yeah, thanks for watching.